Hey, how's it going, guys? How you doing? Sweet, sweet. So first off, thanks to the E3 Coliseum team and Jeff for doing this. This is awesome. We're pretty excited. We're going to talk about some Rage 2. Are you guys excited to see some Rage 2? Sweet. Very cool, very cool. Well, I think we're going to have a pretty good conversation. We're also going to show some video. Did anyone see the Bethesda press conference? You guys saw it? All right, sweet. So yeah, we're going to show some video that we actually didn't even show there. We're going to show an extended look, some stuff we're showing in the booth, and for everyone at home, we're actually going to show some stuff that, we're going to have hands-on at the booth, so if you're here, please come by. But yeah, we'll show some pretty cool stuff. And then also to those, sorry, I've got to read this off my phone. Kind of lost my note cards. So to those watching online, be sure to send your questions in on Facebook. So do that. We're also going to be, we took some questions on Twitter the other day, so if anyone sent any in, we'll try and get to those too. But first, let me bring out two pretty cool people. First, we've got the studio director at id Software, Tim Willits. I tried my best. And then, of course, we've got the game director at Avalanche Studios on Rage 2. We've got Magnus Nedfors. Magnus, I tried my best.
Was good. Was good.
So
I like the Magnus better.
So, okay, say your name.
Magnus Nedfors.
Okay, so that is actually kind of hard to say for some reason. There's a little bit of a soft approach there. Well, let's go ahead and take a seat. Let's get this started. So, first off, they all watched the Bethesda press conference. It seems like people liked it. We showed a lot of Rage 2. We showed some trailers, we showed a few things like that, but we got to show about 6-7 minutes of gameplay. How do you guys feel to actually see that out there in the wild?
I mean, it's been great. We've been working on this game for a long time. To us, it's very near and dear. So to come here, to show the game, have you all play it, hear your feedback, it's really been great for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun to see all the reactions like this. Every time when you are allowed to talk about the game first time and see people play it and just how they smile when they play the game, that's super exciting. You get me super stoked to make even better games. So it's like
awesome. And again, stop by the booth, get some hands-on with the game. You can experience this for yourself. We're really excited about it. So I guess everyone's been kind of wondering this, and I think it's come up in just about every interview I've heard you guys do, but id Software, Avalanche Studios, how does this collaboration work?
So you take two studios that love each other and you put them in the desert alone, and then magic comes out. No, it's
fantastic.
It's been a real honor for me personally and the folks at id Software to collaborate with Avalanche Studios, and because it really is. We've admired them for years, and to work on a true open world game and bring our idea of combat to that world has been really thrilling for me.
Interesting. So you Magnus, sorry, didn't
yeah,
want to
no,
step
it's fine.
on your toes there.
The same as we said previous. Like we at Avalanche, we have always admired the id Software guys. They invented the first-person shooter. I have been a fan since your early games, and it's when the opportunity came around, it was super good, and we just melded together in the way what we want to do this game from day one. It's awesome.
It's a true love story.
Yes.
So you kind of just mentioned this, but Tim, you've been at id for 20-something years. Magnus, you've been at Avalanche since the very beginning, like almost 15 years or so.
Yeah.
So what makes an id game, and what makes an Avalanche game an Avalanche game? What is that? What's that secret sauce?
For us, an id game is immersion, intensity, all those keywords. But it's all about the moment-to-moment combat, holding those heavy, over-the-top, powerful weapons, situational-based weapons. Movement in our games has always been very important. We make really fast games, and it's that kind of in-your-face action is what id Software does really well.
Yeah. Magnus?
Well, Avalanche is doing one thing, and that's open world games. That's what we do. That's what we love to do. We have done it from day one, and everybody working at our studios, that's what they want to do. They love to make them, they love to play them. So just the open worldness, just be in a game world that is vast and super big, and you can just look around and you see a bunch of different interesting locations and so on. I'm free to select wherever I want to go, and you just go there because I see it, and when you come there, you interact with it, and it just reacts to your interaction. So we also love like dynamic content, provide tools for the player to just play with the game. I'm always almost most impressed with our games is when I watch other people play the game and they do shit that I didn't think of as a game creator. I provided the tools. Okay, sorry.
Is that cool? Is that cool? You guys, yeah, maybe. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Well, I'm Swedish. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Facebook. Okay.
Well, they do things in the game world that I haven't even thought about. So we have so many stories where people just do things with our toys, and we just have a laugh at the office. And so interaction with the world and open worldness.
Well, so it begs the question, you guys are saying two very specific things to what y'all do, but I think it seems really interesting how you're making this work together. That almost it's a seamless experience, right? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, the love story between our studios. We have both the love for total, just crazy action. So in both types of games, we have that as a common thing in all our games previously. And when we just saw the opportunity to merge those two, it's absolutely not to, even we talk about two different studios and two different principles of game making, but it's not, Rage 2 just makes those two principles just melt together like this. It's super fun when you see it, you go around in the open world, you're always in the mode of id-style combat within the openness of the Avalanche games. So it's a total marriage that works out so good.
So it's less about those two different things, and it's more about how they've totally blended together.
Yeah. So in Rage 1, due to some of the way our technology worked at the time, there really was this distinct difference. You drive around, you jump out, you go in. There's a level load, and you're okay. Now I'm inside doing inside combat.
Any Rage 1 fans in the audience?
Yeah,
okay.
They're right there.
Yes. Awesome.
So what's so amazing about working with the Avalanche Apex tech is that there is none of that separation. There is none of that level load. Like in Rage, we built these really cool skyboxes that look cool. In Rage 2, if you see something cool, you just go there, and it's so amazing to really be seamless, and I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So we've kind of talked about this at a high level. I think we should probably show some video of the game, maybe, unless you guys don't want to see. But do you want to see some of the game stuff, or some of that then? But definitely come by the booth. This is actually a video we're showing to everyone. Specifically, what we're showing at the booth, you're going to get hands-on with just the combat for now. We're we're going to show you some of the open world stuff later. So we wanted to give everyone a taste of what that full experience is going to be like. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and, if we can, roll the video for Rage 2.
Rage 2 fuses together an unprecedented partnership in gaming. It's an id Software best-in-class first-person shooter meets Avalanche Studios' mastery of open-world insanity. Especially impressive, this incredible combination of action and scale plays as a smooth and seamless load screen-free experience. It all takes place 30 years after the events of Rage. With a world-changing apocalypse and war firmly in the rear view, events have given way to a massive open world, dripping with insane awesomeness everywhere you turn. From jungles, to deserts, to wetlands, to all sorts of diverse and awe-inspiring biomes. Your character hails from Vineland, a secluded enclave that you're forced to abandon after it's attacked by the newly resurgent authority, led by the physically and socially repellent General Cross. We start in the Secreto wetlands, where you've been sent to find Dr. Kvasir. Fans of the original may remember him as your helpful ally. In true id style, your character comes equipped with a sizable arsenal of enviable weapons. Today, we'll show you your assault rifle, shotgun, and rocket launcher. You also have some grenades. And making its triumphant return, a fan favorite, the wing stick, which has some new tricks in the game that we'll show off for you in a bit. Let's chat up Dr. Kvasir, shall we?
Eco 15. It was never deployed and remains in orbit around the Earth. I simply need you to travel to the Eden Space Center and call it down from orbit.
I'm going, right now.
Vehicles were a big part of Rage, and 2 makes sure to double down on its transpo. There's a mind-blowing assortment of charged up, chopped up, and jacked up machinery to drive in and contend with. You've got whiplash-inducing racers that will leave your opponents spitting dust, formidable roaming enemies on wheels from every faction, and, as if that wasn't enough, there's also the threat of massive convoys and their insanely huge convoy leaders. Fortunately, your vehicle comes equipped with rockets. Let's show these hooligans who's boss. The Goon Squad is just one of several factions you'll encounter in Rage 2. Each has different settlements, combat styles, and sweet rides. Okay, we've arrived at the Eden spaceport, which naturally is overrun with Goon Squad. You're gonna need your full arsenal to deal with these thugs. See these guys here? We're gonna school them in Slam. Slam works based on height, so the higher up I am, the more powerful the slam. As you kill opponents, you get overdrive, causing your overdrive meter to go up. When the meter is full, you can unleash overdrive, which makes everything more powerful and also restores your health. You'll get more overdrive points by maintaining a high kill streak. Looks like that guy with the rockets up there is causing some trouble. Fortunately, you've upgraded your wing stick. Surely you didn't forget about your wing stick. An upgraded wing stick can target and kill enemies, even around corners. Now, let's get inside, where Dr. Kvasir has convinced Eden's AI that I'm the President of the United States.
Personnel are no longer present. Threat has been nullified. Mr. President.
Made it to the control room. Now, let's bring down that ecopod.
Recall sequence approved. Your ecopod has landed without incident.
Elevator's still running. So far, so good.
Looks like the authority's back for more. We'll have to cut them down to size.
Holy shit! Oh, hell yeah!
It's a mutant crusher. You'll face lots like these throughout the world of Rage 2. Some small, some big. Thanks for joining us for this quick and dirty look at the world of Rage 2. As you can see, this game is busting at the seams with weapons, vehicles, and terrain.
Awesome. What'd you guys think?
Good.
Sweet. Sweet. So I realize we're running pretty short on time, but I want to make sure we get to some community questions and things like that. But there was a lot in that video, which is why we had to narrate it. But yeah, a lot to go through. And I think it all kind of starts with We just saw Kvasir in that, a returning character from Rage 1, and we haven't really talked a whole lot about that, but can you talk a little about the characters in this game? Are there some from Rage 1 coming over to Rage 2?
Well, as mentioned in the video, like this game takes place roughly 30 years after the first one. But we do have a lot of like characters, like you saw the main enemy is still the Authority, they are back, you need to defeat them. You might recognize a few characters from that as well. So yes, we will be people that you will recognize.
What about locations? Any Rage 1 locations returning?
Well, we have a few things that we will like show off a little bit more later
We're
on.
not talking about that right now. Is that what you're giving me? Okay, cool. Well, what about people that didn't play Rage 1? Are they going to need to have played that before we jump into Rage 2?
So if you haven't played Rage 1, it's okay, I forgive you. But I mean, again, millions of people have played Rage, but we wanted to set this game apart. So I know we have a big 2 at the end of this, but you did not need to have played Rage. We set the story up in such a way that we feed you the information that you need. One of the things we did in Rage 2 is our main character, his name is Walker. He's got a voice. Yes, he actually talks. And the great thing about Walker is he'll actually fill in a lot of the information that you'll need to play. So if you haven't played Rage 1, you can still play it, but jump into Rage 2, you'll be totally fine.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about story, because it seems like, Rage was a fairly linear experience, but clearly Avalanche makes these big open worlds. Was there, is there a main story? Are there side quests, things like that?
Well, we have a main story, so to speak, but we don't tell it in a linear path any longer. Like we do open world games, and we want the player to explore the world and find bits and pieces of the main story as they go. So when we release you out in the open world, you will have several threads to work on and so on. Side quests, I don't really like to call them that because it kind of make them small and diminish them a little bit, but we have activities all over the open world of different kinds, just from missions that you can just take on their own that tells small individual stories about people that you meet out in the wasteland. Just small activities as in like just finding things that are interesting that tells you about the world. So the world itself will tell a lot of stories just by take some time in a location, like just observe, and you will understand what has been going on there, in the world since the first game. So.
Okay, so we keep saying world, we keep saying open world, wide open world. How big is this world?
Well, it's big enough.
It's big enough.
Yeah. Now we don't.
Magnus big. It's not Tim big. It's Magnus big.
I wasn't going to call it out.
Yeah.
I think everyone was thinking it though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we don't like to measure our worlds in metrics. It's like this is not important to us. We can make the world more or less how big we want it or need it. The most important thing is actually to have the right frequency of gameplay at the speed that you travel to the game. So depending on how you move through the game world, that's what sets how often do you want to put something in there, either near the player or far away from the player. And that's what just fill the world with good content. But yes, it's an Avalanche game. It is big.
Okay. That was vague yet specific at the same time. Okay, so clearly, and we even addressed this in the video, but clearly there's been an effort to make this much more colorful, this entire world, and it seems like there's even what looks like diverse kind of biomes and things like that. Can you guys talk a little bit about that and what brought you to that for Rage 2?
Yes. So for those of you that played Rage 1 or Mad Max, you know that id Software and Avalanche used every single shade of brown. And we mastered brown. So when we set out to create the world of Rage 2, we knew we had to do something different. It's not really a post-apocalyptic game. It's a post-apocalyptic game. And with the technology, we have been able to create these rich biomes with forests and grasslands and swamps and really unique areas that not only give you a sense of place, but also give you a context of the action. You know where you're going. You know that the river hogs live over there, and this faction lives over there. It really brings more color and diversity, which we brought all the way into the campaign. hence the crazy, insane colors of Rage 2.
Yeah, well, like colorfulness was from day one something that we wanted. When we started to think about the post-apocalyptic effort, like that we were a lot of inspired by more colorful comics from the 80s and 90s as well. And they, like, I don't know why post-Apple just went into this brown mess for a while. It was fun, absolutely. We had a lot of fun with that. But now we need to bring color back into those type of games, I think.
Awesome. So I'm going to kind of jump around topics a little bit. We saw a lot of vehicles in there, just really briefly. Can you guys talk about this? I mean, Avalanche is also known for vehicles. Can you talk about what we're going to see in Rage 2?
Well, you saw a few of them there, like ranging from smaller like vehicles running around on the wasteland as you normally see, to the huge convoy leaders that you will need to take down. Some flying vehicles. Okay, so we have all the different kinds, and we love vehicle combat. We love explosions. We blow up every time. So that's...
You did it.
Yeah, so that's what we do, like bigger explosions, more guns, and you can equip a lot of different weapons on your vehicles to destroy and wreak havoc around the world.
Ooh, good segue. Weapons. Yes. Let's talk about. We showed an assault rifle. We showed a pistol a little bit. Can you talk something about the weapons? Maybe are there upgrades on them? Are they customizable?
Yeah. So of course, weapons are very important to every action game, and I can tell you all that we have a great amount of weapons. The weapons are upgradable. You can even kind of customize them a little bit. Just a little hint at that. But all the action that you would expect in our weapons, we have in Rage 2.
Okay. And I think maybe the last one I have, these very lead questions. Sorry, we'll go to community stuff here in a second. But we've showed a lot of powers, and it seems like a very different departure from Rage 1 specifically. Can you talk a little bit about these powers and how they work?
Well, in Rage 1, you had the word that I can't pronounce, the defibrillator or something like that?
Defibrillator, yeah.
I'm a Swede. But that's a power that you had that brought you back to life when you were almost dying. We wanted to expand on that, so we added a bunch of new powers. We call them the nanotrite abilities. You saw a few of them again in the video, like the shatter and this ground slam and so on. It's just something to make the combat unique, and like as Tim talked about earlier, the id style, like you have to move around, you have to use your powers. We want to force the player into the action rather than sneaking around the corners and just wait for them. So blend the nanotrite abilities together with the weapons, and you will become an awesome fighting machine.
Yes, no sneaking.
No sneaking.
Go in.
Go in.
Yes.
Yes. Insanity rules.
You guys heard it here first. No sneaking.
No sneaking.
Okay, so I think we're at a good spot where we can switch to community questions, and this is kind of the coolest thing ever. Is the first one that came in from Facebook is, and this actually we might take a little bit of a break here, but the first question is: so will Andrew WK make a cameo in game? And before you answer, let's go ahead and roll the. A video of something. We didn't get to show the full thing at the Bethesda press conference, so if you could roll the video.
It talks.
Want a party with Ruckus?
Does anyone recognize that voice?
Ruckus, singing songs to the...
It mounts on the wall. It's motion sensor activated. It's the Ruckus the Crusher talking head, and it can be yours if you order the Rage 2 Collector's Edition now. But that's not all. You can also get the Rage 2 Collector's Edition game. Sick poster. And it all comes in a one-of-a-kind steelbook. It's the insanely cool Rage 2 Collector's Edition. Act now on this limited time offer, and it can be yours while they last. Rage 2 Collector's Edition. No assembly required, insanity included.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if we've called this out. So that actually is Andrew WK's voice as Ruckus the Crusher.
Yes.
And Ruckus the Crusher is a character in this game. So yes, confirmed?
Yes,
Okay.
that is yes.
Okay,
It is Andrew. It is Ruckus, and that's an awesome special edition, which I actually did not when it was pitched, I was like, "Oh boy." But now that I saw it and people love it, it's awesome.
It's definitely the most ridiculous.
Yes.
So we got 2.5 minutes left. Sorry. We'll do some rapid fire community questions. I'll see how many of these I can get through. So, from JL619, is the game going to run at 60 frames?
Yes, on the newest console, 60, and of course, our PC players, you are all golden, so it'll run really, really fast and look amazing.
Awesome. From Simon Witt 7, the story's not gonna. I'm sorry, I apologize for this one in advance. The story's not just gonna stop abruptly this time, will it?
Yes, Rage 2 is called Redemption. Yes, we have a really awesome, cool ending, I promise.
Okay, so will we revisit any of the... Oh, we answered that one already. Sorry, Spartan. From Loon Iam, can I hope for over-the-top blood splatter? Well, you know what, I think we might have just... Do we need to roll the video again?
Of course, like it's part of id style combat. It's like, and I think take a look at the video again and you will see it.
Okay. From the Pumpkin Bean, the one thing I want to know most is, do you acquire upgrades from quests still? And is the oh, we already answered. The defibrillator is still in here, right?
Yes, it is.
So how do you acquire upgrades?
Well, again, like you saw in the video, through one of the missions there, you can get one of the powers. But again, it's an open world game, so we don't hide everything in missions and so on. You just go out and explore the world, and you find weapons and powers.
Okay. From Halleck. Will there be any deployable weapons like sentry bots from the first game?
Yes.
Okay. We're just going through them. From Jump for Apples. That's a good name. Will we be able to customize our weapons? Oh, we answered that one already. We're so good. All right. From Sam's, I can't say that one. Also, will there be any connection between the two games other than the world, since the plots are different? Well, we haven't actually said the plots are different, but go ahead, sorry.
Well, again, as mentioned, it's 30 years between the two games, and Tim was in on it. Like it is, you don't need to have played the first game. It's a different plot, and it continues into the second game. But
yes, with a different protagonist.
Okay.
Yeah.
This looks like Doom plus Mad Max plus Just Cause. Is that true?
I'd buy that.
Okay,
yeah, that's awesome.
And last question, we'll go back to Facebook. What about Diego Alejandro? What about a release date?
Oh yeah, early next year. Play it. But come to the booth today and play.
Yeah, guys, come to the booth today to play it. Thank you guys so much for your time.